Last time we talked about the opportunity presented to us as individuals, marriages, family, community, and even a country, that in the face of the adversity that COVID has presented to us, the opportunity for us to step up and really grow through the kind of pressures this is creating for us. The last time we talked about a number of different features, but the biggest point we made was really just talking about that point that says all change starts with self. That's why that's at the middle. Okay, so often in life we see the problems in the world as existing from our nose out, and we're trying to make everything better, but as long as I'm running the same program I've always run, I am unlikely to be able to fix my marriage, my kids, my family, my workplace. It has to start with me. And so we need to focus inward on self to see what needs to really change. When we thought about what the follow-on to that was going to be, I went in so many different directions because there are so many different things I see happening with COVID. One of the themes I made the point of last time that's so amazing is the number of people I've worked with where when COVID came along, it seemed like it was the perfect thing to push them, pressure them to evolve and grow in the way they need to as individuals, marriages, and families. What I chose as our first kind of topic to talk about in this regard was talking about addiction and alcoholism. Why is that? Because it's a very concrete thing. It's a very tangible behavioral thing that we can monitor, and it's something everybody can get their brain around. When I start talking about more subtle kind of psychological issues, that might become a little bit less clear. But in this case, the addiction issue is a very obvious sort of thing. And so what we see going on is that in day-to-day life, people are very busy with their career and all their activities, they're out in the world and so on, and going here and going there. And the impact of their addictive issue is not so clear because they can be distracted by all kinds of other things. Then what happens is that when this individual then is confined much more and they don't get to go as many places, they don't get to be involved as many things, and they're in much closer quarters with the people who are the closest to them, then what happens is the pressures begin to increase. At first it's sort of like an easy way to be able to practice my addiction more and kind of get away with it, but eventually you're in a limited space with the people who know you the most, and the pressures begin to build both within oneself and in the world around you. And so when that happens, what I've seen is actually 4 different situations in my practice with COVID of folks who had been struggling along with an addiction, but sort of accommodating to it, and I could never really get them quite fully bought into the idea of addressing this problem as a really significant problem. And therefore, it just kept going on. But one way or another, whether it's dynamics within the family or the marriage or just issues within oneself, what I've seen is 4 different people in my practice have really stepped up, clarified this issue, and gone forward with it in a very meaningful way, and I'm very hopeful for really most of them. They're all really on a good road for genuine sobriety and recovery. And so we're going to look some more in the presentation I do, the much longer presentation I do, for the link of it is just below here, to follow up and really find out how that actually works, how do we make that work, and then once you create that movement, how do you keep that movement going? And of course, remember to sanitize and subscribe.